this group called N2 Publishing. And their, kind of the mission of the company really attracted me to them. Their goal is to help turn a neighborhood into a community. And I thought, man, that makes all the sense in the world. Everyone still wants community these days, but no one knows how to get it, right? And so I thought, well, you know, that's an interesting mission, but how do you do it? They publish these high-end newsletters, looks much more like a magazine, and they go out to affluent communities all across the country. We're up to almost 1,000 now. And the interesting thing about these magazines is it's all user-generated content. It's basically Facebook in print, if you will. It's residents writing about their families, writing about their kids, their pets, their jobs, etc. The revenue obviously comes from advertising. The magazines are free to the residents. And when I started vetting out the company, I saw this chart. They've been around since 2004. And for the first few years, they basically figured out what not to do. They were up to a few $1 million a year in revenue. And they've grown to be over $130 million last year. And this is completely fascinating to me because this is all of their revenue is print advertising, right? And print is flat at best to declining, generally speaking. All of their revenue, so here's print, and here's their growth. So obviously they're doing a few things different. One of the first things they're doing differently is they're laser focused. They're targeting very specific hyper-local communities. They were kind of on the front end of hyper-local communities. And to reach the affluent these days who are getting bombarded with marketing, whose mailboxes just all your mailboxes are filled with direct mail, right? And frankly, it's just getting read over the trash can. Enter this magazine that is all about the community, for the community. And I get testimonies every single month of residents telling me how much they love the magazine. I was at a chamber event about a week and a half ago, and the mayor of Redondo Beach was there. His name's Steve. And Steve and I were chatting, and Steve lives in my community that I publish. So my role with the company is I publish this magazine, and then I also meet with businesses and see if they'd be a good fit with any of our other magazines. So I'm talking with Steve, and an insurance guy comes up next to Steve, and Steve's like, Jason, come here. You got to advertise in this guy's magazine. Everybody in the neighborhood's talking about it. And I thought, man, that is so perfect. That's the concept that I bought into. I'm seeing it come to life. Now, I can't guarantee anyone that advertises with me that they're ever going to get a deal. But I can guarantee if their ad is in my magazine, it's going to be seen over and over and over again. So the second thing we do differently is we reach the right communities with the right content. Just yesterday, I got this piece of direct mail. It was in a yellow envelope, kind of a manila envelope, and I thought, direct mail is getting really creative these days to try to get you to open it, right? And I thought, why don't they just hide their direct mail in this magazine? Because this will get open, this will get seen. And one of the things that, another kind of little testimony that really made me know that I was on the right track is I was at another chamber event, and we did our 30-second spiels, right? And at the end of the event, this dentist comes up to me and he says, John, I want to thank you so much for your magazine. And I said, really, why's that? He goes, well, I live on Avenue F, and the one I publish is called Life on the Avenues of South Redondo. And he goes, I live on Avenue F, and I've been there 8 years. To get to my office, or to get to my car, all I do is go out into my driveway. He goes, I've never met, or out into the alley. He said, I've never met anyone who doesn't live in my alley. He goes, now it's a nice alley. He goes, but I just want to meet other people in my community, and your magazine is helping me to get to do that. So it's testimonies like this, again, that I get on a monthly basis that I know they're reading cover to cover, and marketing is being seen by them. Finally, the third thing we do differently, and this sets us apart, I think, from any other form of advertising, is on pretty much a monthly basis, about 10 times a year in each of our communities, we'll host social events. It might be a restaurant review where a restaurant will give us 20 meals, and I'll invite 17 residents down, but also 3 business partners. Or it might be we had a big pancake breakfast a couple of weeks ago, and we had 50 people from the community and some business partners down there to just, and no one's there taking orders, right? It's just like this. It's networking with potential customers, though. So The very second one of these I did was a little restaurant review, and I invited, we only got 10 meals that night. So I invited 9 residents down and 1 financial advisor who advertises with me. At the end of the night, the financial advisor said, "John, I want to thank you so much." We were there for 2.5 hours. He said, "I never could have orchestrated anything like this." And it wasn't that I orchestrated it well, but it was that he met with 9 high net worth people who at the end of the night had all asked for his card. And he said, "There's no other place on the planet that I could put an ad and actually meet face to face with 9 potential clients." Sort of a little advertising lesson for you as I leave. The 4 M's of advertising, the 4 things that you want to hit. First, it's got to go to the right market. If it doesn't go to the right people, we'll visit. Second, it has to be the right medium. It has to be seen. I can direct mail my neighborhood all day long, but frankly, it's not going to get seen. But if it goes in this magazine, it is going to get seen. Finally, the message, and we can help with that. I've got a whole team back in North Carolina. We're based out of Wilmington, North Carolina. We create the ads for about 80% of our clients. So we create what gets said to the community. And then finally, at the moment, this is the hardest one to control with advertising. You don't know when someone's going to be looking for a particular item. But if you're in a magazine which hits every single month, and it's on their coffee tables, the business is constantly in front of the community. Good little tips for me, really, our best clients are high involvement decision makers. We're talking about high dollar volume, decisions that aren't made very often, things to do with the home, remodelers, realtors, landscapers, roofers, anything that's, again, a high involvement decision. Anything to do with health, your med spas, your plastic surgeons, dentists, etc. Finances, insurance, and financial planners are great. Luxury items like car dealers and jewelers. Thank you. I'll close with this. Just telling you a little bit more about myself. I am not going to sell any of you. I'm not going to sell any of your tips. I'm just going to present the opportunity. I probably won't even follow up with you because I don't want to push it on you. If a few $100 a month is too much for a business, they're not a good fit. If it's not a high involvement decision, it's not a good fit. But if a business wants to reach a targeted, affluent community, there is no better way on the planet than to advertise in our magazines because the residents, they wrote the content, they love it, they read it cover to cover, and it's just constantly in front of them. In fact, there's a guy in here who needed some business, who's kind of at a point, he's like, "John, I really need some calls in the next 4 or 5 months to keep my business going." I said, "Hey brother, we're not the right venue for you. More direct response will generate quicker, but if someone wants to invest in the community, someone that knows that one job leads to another, that leads to another, because when you're good, you're getting most of your business by word of mouth. And all it takes is 1 or 2 more new advocates in an affluent community to completely transform your business." So that's where we're at. I think I got about 30 seconds left for any questions. Dan?
Yeah, what are the kinds of things that people say that would indicate this could be a potential good tip for you? What should I be listening for?
Someone who already does some work in a given community, and we're in pretty much every community. We're in every area, like the West Side, we're in the Valley, we're in South Bay and Orange County. If they're already doing work in an affluent community, they want to grow their footprint. It's not about someone who's just in business 1 or 2 years and wants to be spread. Even though we've helped people like that. In fact, I've got an esthetician in my community that I've helped like that. But we're really for someone who's already doing some work in the community and they just want to expand their footprint in these categories.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. I didn't want to do it in the middle because I figured you wouldn't pay attention to it. Let's start with you.
Thank you. So you're looking for people with business owners with track records?
Yes, yes. Someone that I need to meet face to face with every business owner because there might be 100 landscapers that wouldn't get behind the gates in Rolling Hills. They don't all belong there. If someone gets a job because they took an ad in my magazine in Rolling Hills and they go in and wreck a $400,000 project, then the resident's going to hate the magazine. So I meet face to face, and we're someone with a good reputation who wants to expand their footprint in an affluent community. Make sense? Thank you.
Thank you.